Okay, everybody keeps asking me for my pizza dough recipe. This is just my recipe. This is just what I do. Everybody fights over everything in pizza. It's really bizarre. It's like Mac versus, IBM. I don't get it. Just make what tastes good and keep doing that. So, my recipe is a combination of the Neapolitan pizza dough recipe from Modernist Cuisine and Mark Vetri, who has pizza shops or did have pizza shops, an Italian restaurateur in Philadelphia. So, today we're going to make a Polish, Poolish. It would say it here if I knew what I was doing with the camera, but look it up. So, what we start with is 50. Oh, see, it says, oh, that's 50. So, what you need some containers. You need double O. This is organic. It's so special, so beautiful. Deep O, double O. Double O means that it's very, very fine. Look how fine it is. See? If you touch it, it's like clay. It's very smooth. So the double O, the fine flour, the finer the flour, the less absorption you'll get. So the dough will be wetter. So for your Polish, you really want a wet reaction. So the yeast has a lot of moisture and it can make a lot of bubbles. Okay? That's all we're doing. All right? So you take your yeast. So this is 4 pinches of yeast. My trusty scale, which is going up and down a little bit here, doesn't go any lower than 1. So for the recipe, it says to use 0.05. I roughed it out at 4 pinches. It works well. All right, so we add the water to the 50 grams, okay? And then we get in there, and you wanna stir it up. Make sure the water's warm. This was a little cool, because this is like my 5th time I've done this, because the other takes were horrible. All right, so you do this, and then you wanna wait until you get that smell. That smell, it smells like, I don't know, like a frat house on Sundays. It's kind of sour, it's kind of stale, it smells like bad decisions. Amazing. Okay, 50 grams. See, I'll say 50 exactly, 50 and 50 with that little extra. People are very precise. That's the one thing everybody agrees on, is precision at this stage. Later on it gets a little wacky. All right, so for our Polish, our pre-ferment, so this is not our dough, this is our dough's starter, basically. All right, you want to get all that incorporated. I have a really nice spatula. I'll show you that next round on our bulk ferment. But I just want to kind of do it with stuff that everybody has. Keep the list of needs down. There you go. Whitish peanut butter or really gooey mashed potatoes. All right, there you go. Then you take that and you cover it with a wet towel, and you cover it for 12 hours. 12. My wife introduced me to something really cool. It's called a notebook, where you can use a pen and write stuff, and it stays there, and then you don't have to remember it. So write it down. Get a little piece of tape, a little piece of paper. 12 hours. All right, we'll see you in 12 hours. Bye. Okay, so 12 hours have gone past. I did some really good sleeping, got some really great sleep, dreaming of pizza. So here we are. Let's see. Let's go over the tools of what you're gonna need. So for this, you're gonna need scale again, because you have to weigh all this stuff. Stand mixer. I did this the first time, like all in, all revolution, no energy, totally analog. And the kneading process made my arms hurt for 2 days. So I tried the stand mixer, and it's fast. And this is from the Modernist Cuisine. If you've never listened to the Modernist Cuisine Breadcrumbs podcast, man, just take some time out of your life and do it. All right, a bowl, 3 grams of active yeast. Olive oil is 5 grams. And people, come on. You want to make good pizza, don't use crap. This is really expensive. Salt, olive oil, the best yeast. See that bread flour? See the little number there? 12.7. This is where it switches from the Modernist to the Mark Vetri. Use that flour. Trust me, you get the beautiful brown crust. It does have a larger particle, so you'll get more absorption, so your dough's a little less wet, but as you're beginning, that's a pretty good thing. Okay, we have 500 grams of flour, the yeast, the 100 grams of our Polish, our pre-ferment there, looking pretty good. Last tool besides the stand mixer is this is from Breadtopia, and I didn't make that up. That is the actual name of the website. This is the Dr. Oetker. Well, this isn't the Dr. Oetker. Dr. Oetker is the legend of spatulas, if you can believe there is such a thing, from Breadtopia, the magical land of Breadtopia. A German company that stopped making them. So another German company started making this one, and it is like a hand for bread making. All right, so we have our water in here, and that's 360 grams of water. And we're going to take our 3 grams of yeast and add it in. Okay, then you want to dissolve that again. Remember, we're looking for that frat house after a big weekend over at the frat boys. You know, smells like Yingling Lager. Yeah, that's college to me right there. So I just dated myself and told you more about myself than you really need to know. Then 100 grams of Polish, and that is where this is totally necessary because the Polish is sticky. This is a 50-50, so it's a 50% hydration. And that goes directly in the mixer. And this, if you don't have this tool, man, that can make a mess. All right, then we add, set that by side because you're gonna need it. Then you add your flour. All right? Really simple. That is old school pizza making. This is not old school. People will fight over it. So you're going to do this for 2 minutes. I am not going to film that because 2 minutes of a mixer going at low speed, 2 minutes at low speed, is really annoying. So I will start it after that. Okay, so you can see the consistency of the dough. 2 minutes at low speed, and they call it shaggy. So you want that like shaggy, just start. You can see the gluten starting to build in that. It's really going to get going after this next 2 steps. So, fancy spatula again, olive oil. Here's a little plug. The only olive oil you should use. This is Sicilian. You can either get it under the Frankie's brand or this brand. Oh my gosh, it's so good. The best I've ever had, actually. So, pour in olive oil, and then you want to use your scoop to get all that amazingness in there. And don't worry if you don't get it all. You can always lick it out or sop it up with a good piece of toast, because it's that good. You never ever waste any of this olive oil. It's like the hand of God coming down and touching your pizza. All right, and then I like to sprinkle the salt around. This is Maldon salt from the coast of England, the only salt I use as well. All right, so then we're locked in, and we're gonna do this at medium speed for 4 minutes. Then we're going to do it at high speed for 4 more minutes. Okay, this table's kind of janky, so I have to hold it. It really does get kicking. My lock's not so great anymore in the old KitchenAid stand mixer, so you're gonna wanna, I have to hold it, so I can't film that because it looks stupid, and it's really loud and annoying. So that's it. After that, I'm gonna scrape this off, use this same damp towel to cover it, and then I'm going to let it sit for 5 hours. A minimum of 5 hours is my bulk fermentation. So it just sits room temperature for 5 hours. I'll check it. If it's still growing and still bubbling, I'll let it go a little longer. This is one of those things that everybody fights about. And like I said, I'm not here to fight. Don't text me that you do it for 3 hours or 13 hours. I don't care. This works for me. After that, then it goes in the refrigerator. And I do a 3-day, what's called retardation. So the yeast is really growing in the dough, even right now. And after we build this gluten, it'll sit, and that bulk ferment is the yeast growing. So then we put it in the refrigerator to retard the yeast growth. So it stops the yeast growth, but the bacteria continues to grow. And that bacteria is what gives the depth of flavor to your dough. So this is giving you rise and good air content, but flavor really comes from that retardation and the bacteria. Thank you, bacteria. You're such a great friend. Unless you gave me a disease, then you're not that great of a friend. But sometimes you're great. All right, so that's it. Next video will be shaping and making pizza.